It's heartbreaking. On a major street here in Port-au-Prince by the airport, there's 4 people just laying dead on the side of the road. 2 of them have been covered in white sheets, as you can see, and 2 of them have just been covered with a cardboard box. One of them's a little girl. In the best of times, Haiti's medical system is woefully inadequate. After Tuesday's earthquake, clinics, hospitals that were still standing were overflowing with the injured, with the dead and the dying. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta has visited hospitals where hundreds of people, many of them gravely injured, were waiting for hours, for days for help, and a lot of them died as they waited.
What you're looking at is a makeshift mortuary in one of the few hospitals that's still up and running here in Port-au-Prince, if you can call it that. Over the past few hours, we've seen dozens of bodies come out of this mortuary and taken to a truck, where they're taken to another ground, the bodies not even being identified. So much of the attention is now focused over here on patients who are alive but in desperate need of medical care. I want to try and walk through here, give you a very different perspective on what's happening in the aftermath of this natural disaster here in Haiti. Literally dozens of patients just lining the halls. Here you have patients on cardboard boxes like this. They hardly have any resources to try and care for patients like him. And when I say no resources, I mean no gauze, hardly any bandages, and very few IVs. To get antibiotics, to get pain medication is a very difficult thing to do. Lots of types of injuries here after an earthquake. You see a lot of crush injuries. You see penetrating injuries. You see this gal who we talked to earlier who has a broken leg, and they're literally using some ACE wrap and a wooden board to try and keep her leg stable. This is jungle medicine. It is primitive medicine. It is medicine that can sometimes work, but hardly ever does. You see as well more cardboard boxes over here. You see another splint, again, using a wooden board like that to try and offer a little bit of stability. They're trying to take that off right now, to try and examine the leg. The man that's doing that is not a doctor, it's his friend. Let's keep walking through here. As we make our way out of the hospital, again, one of the few that are up and running, you can just see how busy this place is. This is where you want to be. This is an actual hospital. Out here is where things get even more challenging. This is where you have areas of makeshift tents, patients in these little cloth tents who are brought here because there's really nothing else that can be done for them. They have no resources at all to be able to take care of them, so the healthcare personnel bring these patients out here to try and get them out of the way so they can try to take care of more patients in the hospital. So walk through here, you've probably never seen anything quite like this. Stretchers outside under trees, IVs hanging from trees. That is what is necessary here. That is what is happening here in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. Outside on the streets, patients know about this place and they keep coming here. Just take a look at the long waiting line, people waiting to be seen. They're going to continue waiting for hours and days. Even as I was telling you about the patients waiting outside, another truck pulls up, and as you can tell, this is the reality for a lot of people. These are 2 patients who are deceased. They're brought to the hospital as their loved ones simply looking for a place, something to do with their bodies.
I want to talk to Sanjay in a moment, but you may be hearing singing behind me. There are several hundred people in a park behind me who've been sleeping there for several days, and every night a lot of times they sing, they pray to try to kind of rally their spirits and keep their hope and their faith alive. So that's what you're hearing while we're talking. Sanjay, you're at this hospital now. What's the situation? I mean, a bunch of international doctors arrived, but then they were told to leave by the UN because of security concerns.
That's exactly right. I've never been in a situation quite like this. It's quite ridiculous. In fact, there's lots of patients over here. Come over here, take a quick look. Just as far as your eye can see, there's patients lined up out here in this outside tent, and then there's critically ill patients in this inside tent as well. You know, the doctors, I don't think they wanted to leave, but they were asked to leave, as you said, by the UN. Anderson, you're not going to be able to see this, but I can tell you, if you just take a gander out here by the gate, an ambulance has just pulled up now. 3 more patients who are critically ill. They don't know where to bring them. They were thinking that they would bring them here because they heard about these tents. Patients who had traumatic amputations that were rescued just now from the rubble, and they're trying to bring them in here as well. Hardly any medical facilities. The nurses, the doctors have left.
There's hardly any supplies left here as well. And you can see the situation that is unfolding here, Anderson. It's difficult.
So, I mean, people will die tonight. People could very easily die tonight who are there because they're not getting treated, right?
Well, I'm trying to treat them, Anderson. It's an odd sort of thing, position that I'm in. But there is a patient here who had significant what's called necrosis, where parts of her leg had died as a result of crush injury. And I, without laboratories, am trying to assess what I think is best for her. There's another patient over here who had a significant injury resulting in amputation, and we're trying to take care of her as well. Literally trying to do the best that we can with what limited supplies they have left me. I have a stethoscope, and I'm monitoring these patients' vital signs best that I can, but looking for some help.
I mean, it's ridiculous. The United Nations has troops here. I mean, hundreds, thousands of troops here, and have for a long time. They could have 10 troops there if they're so concerned about the security situation. To keep to have the doctors leave, I mean, because of some theoretical risk, when you know for a fact people may die who are patients, I find it stunning that they made that decision.
I try and explain things all the time. This one is inexplicable to me, frankly. And Anderson, let me just show you again. Ambulance now pulling in. They have nowhere to go. This is it. And frankly, I am it right now because there are no doctors or other nurses here. I'm trying to tell them that we are completely, we're left in the lurch here. We really just don't have the supplies to take care of the patients. This is one of the most frustrating things I think I've ever been involved with, and feel really, really helpless. We're going to see what we can do.
We need to know whether we can take care.
I know. We have to figure this out.
Okay, the decision needs to be done right away.
Let's take a look at these patients.
We want to take a look at them.
All right.
They have 2 patients with the legs.
Okay, Anderson, we're going to go do this, Anderson.
And there's a third one.
3 patients with amputations?
2 of them have their legs amputated. And
they're on.
And the other one is unconscious.
All right, Sanjay, you got your hands full there. We're going to let you go. Do what you can, and just do what you can. Our coverage continues in a moment. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Don Lemon, live at the CNN World Headquarters in Atlanta. Look at your top stories right now. As you just saw on Anderson Coopr 360, some earthquake victims in Haiti watched their doctors and nurses walk right away last night after a Belgian medical team made the call to evacuate the field hospital over safety concerns. Now, originally, doctors at the site told CNN they were ordered to evacuate by the United Nations. But tonight, a coordinator for the Belgian team came forward to say he was the one who ordered his team to leave. He ordered his team to leave. Still, CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta stayed through the night and monitored the patients. The Belgian doctors returned this morning. Meantime, this is the kind of scene that played out today in Port-au-Prince, where aid is pouring in from around the world, but people are growing increasingly despondent. For some people, it is too late. Bodies can still be seen across Port-au-Prince, and mass graves have been dug in more remote areas outside of the city. There's still no official death toll. A new sign that the world is paying close attention, though. The Secretary of State Hillary Clinton spent several hours in Haiti today and met with the Haitian president. Back in Washington, a show of unity from American presidents. President Obama has put former Presidents Bush and Clinton in charge of the fundraising effort. It is down to the wire in Massachusetts in a